Hi everybody, Andy here, welcome back to the channel. We've got Andromeda here and we're going to process it as quickly as possible. So we're in Pixinsight and this is an image of Andromeda, even though it looks like a black box at the moment, which is about 4 hours of light gathering. So let's do a quick stretch of this image. So we're in screen transfer function, we untick the link and then we select the image and we hit the nuclear symbol. There we go. So we've got our image of Andromeda. This is just a quick stretch that we've got here. My usual routine is I do screen transfer function, color calibration, and background neutralization, and then SCNR. In that order, I use just the defaults for this. So color calibration, we just open, and I'm not going to do anything other than drag it across from the triangle like this, and then just let it do its thing. So that's done that. Then we go into background neutralization, which is this one. Again, just the defaults. And now we reset the screen transfer function. There we go. And then SCNR, which is set to green. And this should just remove any green hues that we've got in there. So I'm just going to drag that across. Again, just defaults with all of these. Then I'm going to create a star mask because I want to reduce the size of the stars. So to do that, you go to the spanner here and you need to get this value just here. And you copy that and then close this and put that in the shadows value. And then you go back into the spanner and copy this value. And you put that into the midtones. And then we just apply that. There we go, we have our star mask. Okay, so I'm going to apply the star mask to our image by clicking on the tab and dropping it onto here. And then I'm just going to minimize this because I'll want it later on as well. So I'll just put this all the way down there at the moment. Anything that's red on this image is protected, and anything that's not red is affected. So I want everything apart from the stars to be protected. So we go mask and we select the image and then we go mask and then show mask. So basically I know that anything that was red is protected but the stars aren't. So we'll just go into morphological transformation, which is basically star reduction, and we've already got the mask on the background and I'm just going to apply that straight to the image. And you can see now if I flick between them, the stars are slightly bigger and now they're slightly smaller. Bigger and smaller. So that's good. I am happy with that. Now I'm going to use multiscale linear transform, which is basically a form of noise reduction. And I have here a book which I write down a load of values in, and I'm literally just going to put these values into the noise reduction column here. So I'm going to go 4 layers, and then in the noise reduction here, the first one is 2.33, and I want that 3 times. And then the next one, 1.5 and 2, and then third one, 0.5, 0.5 and 1. I got those from other videos I saw on the internet. They seem to work quite well. So I'm just going to leave everything else the same and just drag that across. Great, that's now completed and the image does look a bit cleaner, which is great. So we're now going to reset this tool. I'm going to go to 7 layers this time. And then I'm going to do exactly the same again. I've got my book full of notes and I'm just going to set this to chrominance and then start again. So layer 1, I'm going to go 3, 1, 1, which is great. Layer 2, again I'm going to go 3, 1, 1, which is the same. So layer 3, I'm going to go 2, 1, 1. And layer 4, I'm going to go 1, 1, 1. Great, that's good. And we've selected chrominance already, and now I'm just going to drag and drop again. That's looking really clean. I'm quite pleased that the actual image is quite clean, which is great. So we're done with multiscale linear transform. Now I'm going to use a dynamic process to extract some of the background. So I'm going to go to dynamic background extraction, which we have here. We select the image. I'm going to scoot around the image, and I'm going to put some sample generation points, because you can see that it's a bit darker in the corners. So what I want to do is try and sample those going all the way across the top and all the way across the bottom. I don't want any of the actual galaxy being sampled at all. So I'm literally going to just draw the samples on this, making sure that I get as many as possible in the problem areas, which I think are these corners. Now you'll see that this one has a star in it, so I just want to make sure that I move it away from the star. Okay, I've got quite a lot of sample points in there now, which is great. So I'm now going to just quickly go to target image correction. I want to go to subtraction for the background, and then I'm just going to drag and drop. Okay, so there's our original image, and now let's have a look at this one. Oh wow, that's really good. It's really got rid of some of that gradient across the bottom. Could be a bit better at the top, but that's really good. So I'm just going to close our image which we were working on before and keep that down there in case we need it, and then close the dynamic background extraction, and we don't actually need the background that it extracted. Great, so this is now the image which we are working on. The next step in the process is to stretch this image. So I'm just going to reset the screen transfer function here, so that we've got a brand new clean stretch from the screen transfer function, and then open histogram transformation, and I'm opening a preview on that as well, which we've got here. Then I'm going to drag the arrow from the screen transfer function onto here, and then this will turn white because it's double stretched it, and then reset the screen transfer function. In our preview here, what I want to do is reduce the amount of stretch that we've got there. So I'm just going to pull it back a little bit. We've still got this lovely shape of the galaxy, but I don't want the center to be too blown out. So I'm just going to pull that back a bit, just making sure we've got a happy medium between seeing the outer edge detail, not destroying the center here. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm now going to apply this. Okay, so we have our first stretch of our image. Now this is where it begins to get really fun. So what we're going to do is go into our curves transformation next, and I'm going to go straight in and start stretching the curves. I want to see the color that's in this image. However, one thing I don't want to do, because a lot of these stars will turn a different color, and I don't want them to turn a different color because I can see there's some blue in this image. So what I'm going to do is apply the star mask again. So if I just open the star mask and then drag it on here, and we know that everything that's red is protected, so I need to reverse the star mask here. So we select the image and invert the mask, and now the stars are all red, so they're protected, but the rest is going to be affected. So show mask, and we've got the image back. We then go to S for saturation, and I'm going to open a preview. So I've got a preview now, and I'm just going to go crazy. I'm going to see what colors are out there. Let's see what we can pull out of this image. That's astonishing. So we can already see the sorts of detail we've got. We've got all of this blue around, some red in there as well, and we've got this lovely reddy orange colour as well. And if we look at our before and our after, that's so cool. That's really cool, and I don't want to go too crazy with it, but I really love that. I love how warm it looks around there. Okay, I'm going to keep that as a first go. So let's now add that curve. That's really good. I'm going to reset that and go straight back into the preview again, and let's see if we can improve it in any more. So this time I'm going to go to hue, and I'm going to try and get some of the blues this time. So I'm just going to do a couple of dots here, and then we'll try and bring up some of the blue that we can see here. Now it's turned a little bit magenta. That's really good. And I'm also going to see if I can get some red in there as well. That's before and after. I think that looks really nice actually. It's a bit wacky, but I quite like it. Yeah, I think that's pretty good actually. I'm not unhappy about that. So I'll turn off the preview and then let's apply that to our image. Okay, it's already looking good. In fact, it's not far off where I want the image to be. So I'm just going to come off the curves transformation, and now we're going into color saturation, and I'm going to see if I can pull out some of these colors, these actual, so we've got that lovely blue there. So I'm going to just see if we can pull out some of that blue. So I'm going to start a preview again, and then increase some of that blue. That's without, and that's with, which is nice. And there are also some red bits around here. And I'm not sure if that's just artifacts or if it's actually really nice stuff. So I think I'm just going to increase some of that. Okay, so I'm going to apply that to the image. There we go. I don't want to go too far with destroying the image, but I quite like the blue and I quite like the red that we've got there. So that's not too bad at all. What I do want to do is try and bring out a little bit more detail in the band. So I'm going to go into the local histogram equalization, and I'm just going to start a preview. Whoa, there's way too much there, so let's bring that all the way down. And what I want to do is try and bring out the detail of these black lines going around the galaxy. That does look quite cool. I think I'm going to apply that. Great, I'm getting quite happy with this image. I think it looks really good. The last thing I want to do is just apply a tiny bit of denoise to it. So I've got TVG denoise here, which is, I seem to think this works really well. You just have to play with the strength setting to see how much it's affecting the image. I'm just going to create a new preview. There we go, and then select our preview. So now we can quite clearly see the noise in the image, and I'm just going to apply this quickly to the image. Okay, it's improved it a bit. I'm going to actually increase this and reset our preview and try again. Yeah, it's definitely reduced it slightly, so I'm going to close this preview and I'm going to apply that to my image. Okay, I'm now going to remove the masks from here, remove mask, and then I'm just going to go back into curves transformation, reset that and start a new preview, and I'm just going to see if there's any other color. I don't want to completely destroy the image, but I think that looks, it is a bit wacky, but I quite like it. So I'm going to close my preview and I'm going to apply that to the image. There we go. I think that's as far as I'm going to take it. There we go. So this is the finished image for a very quick and dirty process of Andromeda taken from our back gardens. About 4 hours of data gathering. It's slightly over processed, I'd say. The colors are a bit wacky, but I really like the image. It's a bit of fun. So thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody, and stay safe.